Not a deer, not a dead deer. Dinosaur traces detected.
Move quickly, not too quick. You'll trigger the instinct to chase. Now move, move.
Owen. Owen, are you okay? What is happening?
Little busy right now.
Please tell me you have things under control.
Do you want me to lie?
If it'll calm my anxiety, yes. I'm a bundle of raw nerves.
We're working the problem.
Oh, and then it started to snow.
We have a helicopter standing by, and they'll attempt to tranquilize the animal from the air.
Attempt. Attempt! We need success, Dr. Dula, before it can eat Grady and the others.
No, please don't say that. You believe in the team, right?
You want me to lie?
Now, granted, I feel like it's a bit odd that Allosaurus would keep going for these guys, even though it has a clear dead deer for it to eat. Alright.
Owen, what's our status?
We're close. We have everything almost under control.
Ensure the
but
Allosaurus is
animal
safely
injured.
enclosed before a
We need
status
to get her
check
to a
on the
secure enclosure
Allosaurus.
for observation and treatment.
Alright.
I'll notify Dr. Dua.
Holy moly, that's a
me?
lot of...
I'm fine.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Oh yeah, can you also fix the fence that I asked you to fix earlier? Thank you very much. Alright. Okay, Allosaurus. We finally got... Alright, interesting. Too close to dinosaur. What dinosaur? What dinosaur could you possibly be talking about? What? What are you talking about? What the hell? Where did you come from? How long was he there? Why is there just this random Stroofy?
And the herbivores? What about them?
As long as they stay away from civilization, leave them in place. They'll survive in the wilderness without our intervention, right?
Given time to adapt? Yes, I'd say they will.
I guess that's something we're all gonna have to get used to. Having dinosaurs out in the
That's sorry,
world.
not a Stroofy moment.
Is
That's a
that
galley
you
minus.
talking, or is that the government?
Claire, I am the government.
I am the government. Alright. If I were you, little galley, I would move away. You would not like the dinosaur I'm going to get in this enclosure. Come on. I don't want... Come on, come on. There you go. Now, where's the bloody... There they are. Okay. Sweet. So yeah, they'll fix this enclosure up. And then we'll get Allosaurus ready to go. Perform status check on the Allosaurus. But first, of course, we gotta move him to here. Alright, Allosaurus. Now, yeah. Now, here's the problem. So they said that... Oh, there's a Triceratops there as well. You sure you don't want to worry about these herbivorous dinosaurs? Because they can be a problem. Now, here's the problem I have. So, you want to contain all the theropod carnivorous dinosaurs, right? That's what you want to do. Alright, that's fine. But that means you also got to do the same for the herbivores. Because the herbivores, they're just as... You know, they're just as deadly. You know, they can cause just as much damage. Like, look at this Triceratops, for example. That's a lot of damage you can pull through those horns. Actually, I'm gonna quickly do a capture mode. Take a picture of the Carnotauruses while we wait. Boom. There's your thumbnail. Okay. But like, I don't know. Not only are herbivorous dinosaurs still dangerous, but you also have to come to consider these herbivores need something to control the population now. So the dinosaurs are a part of the population. There's nothing we can do about that. They're just there now. They're gonna reproduce. They're just gonna they're now just a part of the ecosystem. We have to adapt to that, okay? That means also including the carnivorous dinosaurs, because no natural predator that I can think of that lives today would be capable of taking down a triceratops. None. I can't think of any. There's wolves, bears, cougars. I'm thinking of all the natural predators that of North America. None of them will be capable of taking down triceratops. You know what could? The like any of the theropods. A Carnotaurus might have a chance. Allosaurus might have a chance. T-Rex most certainly might have a chance. Alright. They're now part of the ecosystem. We have to accept that, alright? We can't just let the herbivores be free, but the carnivores, like, yeah, I get it. Carnivorous dinosaurs are dangerous, deadly. They could cause a lot of harm to a town and, like, kill a lot of people. But you know what can also do that? A cougar and some wolves and bears? You know, like the modern day animals? Just the difference between dinosaurs and our animals is that the dinosaurs are bigger. Okay? Like, because you know what would happen if we don't control the population of dinosaurs, the herbivorous dinosaurs? There would be a bad intake, a bad damage to the ecosystem. The plants will die. More plants will be eaten. There'll be less food source for the herbivorous animals of the dinosaurs and the modern day animals. You know, it'll be total chaos. You know, there needs to be a balance. You know, there needs to be carnivores to take care of the dinosaurs, but yet at the same time not too much. It's complicated, but like you need an equal balance of carnivores and herbivores. You know. Yeah. But anyways, so we got the Allosaurus now. So, let's see what we can do here. It needs a status check, so let's quickly just get this set up. Can get like a little bit of a bigger piece of water. Let's say water. Bloosh. That tree's bugging me, so I'll just remove that. Okay. Alright, Allosaurus, you look quite beaten up. What happened to you, mate? Got some nasty scars on pretty much everywhere. Far out. Yeah, like I said, it's a bit odd. Like, in terms of dinosaur behavior, you're never gonna see Allosaurus, like, kill more than once, you know? Or any carnivorous dinosaur, really. Once they have a meal, why would they go for more? Why would they kill more? They have a meal, you know? But yeah, like, hold on. Let's just continue with this thing. And then, or I could just talk about Allosaurus right now. Yeah, we'll talk about Allosaurus. Why not? We have Allosaurus. We might as well do it. Allosaurus is a cool dinosaur anyway.
I'm going to need a paleomedical facility to assess the status of the dinosaur that they're bringing in. We'll need to do a full medical scan.
Oh yeah,
I want to understand what went wrong if we're going to avoid an event like this in the future.
Alright, yeah, now looking at your eyes. Oh, that's healed. Oh, damn it, they should have stayed the same, honestly. Missing forest? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we can do that. But first we need to also build a... Hold on. Operations, paleomedical facility. We have nowhere to put this. We literally have nowhere to put this. Okay, let's try, like, yeah, let's be cool about this, like a little pathway right here. How about that? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, neat. Now, they're going to teach us about the ailments, but while we do that, we can talk about the Allosaurus. The Allosaurus, everyone knows Allosaurus, or at least anyone that knows dinosaurs knows Allosaurus. So Allosaurus was kind of the top predator of the Jurassic period, but not fully. You know, there were definitely other theropod dinosaurs. I'd say it was they were close. This is the closest we can get. All right. That task. Fix him up. All right. Now, Allosaurus. Yeah, like I said, there were other theropod dinosaurs that were a part of the Jurassic period. That wasn't just Allosaurus. There was Ceratosaurus. We definitely had Ceratosaurus before. It was the first carnivorous theropod we've ever had. And there was also another theropod dinosaur that I think was bigger than Allosaurus, but it doesn't quite often get looked at, called Torvosaurus. Torvosaurus was a cool one, right? Right, open space. Okay, let's get you a fruit dispenser. What else do you need? Open space. This is the best you're gonna get. Forest. Yeah, let's get you some more forest, why don't we? But yeah, I won't talk about Torvosaurus because in fact, I'll save it for Prehistoric Kingdom because Torvosaurus will be a part of the Prehistoric Kingdom once it finally gets released. All right. Okay. It wants more space. Let's get it more space then. I held it. This will do. Okay. All right. But in terms of Allosaurus, the cool thing about Allosaurus.
Sometimes what a problem requires is a new set of eyes. Let's hire a few scientists with the skills to diagnose these animals.
Yeah,
Make sure they are competent with the MVU and can perform medical scans on the dinosaurs. I'm interested to see what we can discover.
Yeah, but first we need to fix this fencing because we're kind of dealing with an angry Allosaurus that doesn't quite like. All right, so that's a bit better. Open space. There we go. All right, let's give it some more forest. You know, make it happy. Get some of these trees and a bit of these trees as well. How about that? Still not. Ooh, I see. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Which is. You know what? This is good enough. This is good enough. This is the best that Allosaurus is gonna get. But yeah, like in terms of the actual dinosaur Allosaurus, Allosaurus was a very impressive carnivorous dinosaur. Because you gotta think about this, right? The Allosaurus was around during the Jurassic period, with the most famous of Jurassic period dinosaurs: Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus, Dryosaurus, Stegosaurus, so on and so on. So it was definitely a part of a very impressive lineage of dinosaurs, Allosaurus. And the neat thing about Allosaurus is that apparently they can actually extend their mouth very, very wide. So yeah, like you gotta come to consider, right? Allosaurus hasn't quite gotten. What are you doing, sir? What the actual hell? Why are you in the enclosure? What is wrong with you?
Heading to pick up the asset.
You have until this Allosaurus wakes up until you are. Why? Why are they in the enclosure? Fix up the fence, please. Okay, but yeah, like Allosaurus, apparently the muscle attachments from the mandible to the maxima is like at the far back, I think. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember everything I did on the research on this. But yeah, like apparently Allosaurus can like open their mouth very, very wide. And you also have to come to consider this is like before T-Rex came, so the theropod dinosaurs haven't quite gotten that bone-crushing bite yet. So they have to get a different method. You run. That's my best advice to you three. Oh god! Hey, the fences are fixed. Oh, these two are dead as well, yeah, far out. Okay, but Allosaurus, like I said, they can open their mouth very wide. And they also have some powerful muscles at the back of the neck, I think, as well. Which means that apparently, through some sources, they believe that the best way of hunting Allosaurus, because they don't have that powerful bites, they have to rely on their their sharp teeth. So they use the force of their neck muscles to like pull their head back with their open gaping mouth and like strike down like an organic axe, and they like shed off the meat of their prey, especially. And it makes sense because when you really think about it, in terms of the prey of the dinosaurs Allosaurus had, this was again during the Jurassic period, and sauropods were high on levels during that time, so there were a lot of sauropods as well. So that means the majority of the food source has to probably be sauropods. Granted, there were also some ornithopods, and there was definitely Stegosaurus, but Stegosaurus was probably like a last resort dinosaur to go for, because they have some very obvious powerful defenses. But ornithopods were pretty good choice as well. Particularly, what was it? There was Dryosaurus, but there was also a bigger one. I can't remember what it was called though. Not Camptosaurus, I believe it was called. Yeah, Camptosaurus was around, and it may have hunted Camptosaurus. But yeah, like I said, so its best hunting method would have probably been to, and it also has these grasping arms, so maybe it could have grasped onto something as well. But like, extend its mouth open, and like strike down and like chop off pieces of meat with the mouth alone. It's wild. It's full on. It's really interesting to think about these hunting mechanisms for Allosaurus. Yeah, and also there's a bit of another cool story of it for Allosaurus. It revolves around the the distribution of Allosauruses in one certain site. But I'll talk about that later. I gotta focus on hiring some scientists, which we have definitely done before. Let's see, what can we work with? John Fornham, Jesse Akanima, Ray Von Dar, Shozi Juan, sorry, Stephanie Theophilus, Derward Oladoyinbo, Fina Mikhail, and what was that? Barbara Craig. Okay, what do you have in stats? Reduces the salary, increases unrest limit. Unrest? Oh, you have motivation. Yeah, you're super helpful. Positive influence, decrease the task by 20%. At least one other scientist member. Reduce the cost of research tasks by 30%. Increase genetic potential by 5. And genetic skill by 3. Increase genetic potential by 5. And faster research. And decrease task time by 50% for research tasks. Okay. I gotta think about this logic. Because we've done Chaos Fairy in Jurassic Park. We pretty much know how the staff system works, and we know how the medication system works before the game even told me how to do it. So I know for a fact that I'm probably going to have to sedate the Allosaurus and take it to the medical facility, right? Which means I'm going to need to focus on the highest welfare. So whoever has the highest welfare, I will hire, and that would be Barbara Craig. Okay. Confirm.
We have to knock that dino out. I'd suggest a tranquilizer, but you know, you do you.
Alright, so this poor Allosaurus, the amount of times it kept getting tranquilized. Alright, tranquilize the Allosaurus, and then we'll fix him up. I don't have a lot of space, but it is really neat that in terms of environment, I'm actually really glad that from a logical standpoint, both these dinosaurs kind of seemingly very
Now that we have control of the dinosaur, temporarily,
sort
let's
somewhat
get it transported
accurate.
to the Paleo Medical Facility, where we can treat its injuries.
Okay. So
Heading to
Oh, yeah.
collect the asset.
but yeah, like with Carnotaurus, for example, with the body structure it has, with the sense of rush, the sense of sprint that it has for its hunting mechanism, it would make sense that there would be very little trees for its environment. You know, because you know if there was trees in the way, it's gonna be very hard to catch your prey because you're gonna keep running into the trees, and you know you gotta keep turning through the trees and stuff. So it would make sense that they would be living in this plain grasslandish field, you know. And with the Allosaurus, they lived in the Jurassic period where jungles were very, very popular in the Jurassic period. So you would see a lot of jungles. So this would probably not be too far off from an Allosaurus enclosure, minus the snow. Same goes to the Allosaurus. Closure? Nah, I think habitat is more fitting. There you go.
Asset delivery confirmed.
Yeah, so now they just fix up the Allosaurus. We'll wait for a minute 30. While we do that, I guess I'll talk about that cool Allosaurus distribution while there's just a Triceratops and Gallimimus just chilling in the background. But, the cool thing about... Here's the cool thing about Allosaurus. Here's a cool story. So, I believe it's the Morrison Formation. It's a very famous dinosaur formation, you know. This formation, somewhere in America, I think it's the Morrison Formation, where there's like a huge distribution of different dinosaurs, like in different levels, and you can kind of have like a story being told on this one formation. So like first off, so this one spot used to be a lake, you know, it used to be a lake where dinosaurs would come and, you know, drink and, you know, normal basic survival needs, you know. And where there comes water, there comes animals, because animals need water. And where there's animals, there's going to be predators, because the predators eat the animals. So there was a big distribution of different prey dinosaurs, Stegosauruses, Dryasauruses, and some sauropods here and there, yada yada yada. And then eventually the water dried out, you know. And I believe the water also became contaminated with the different corpses that would die in the water. So then there'll be these dinosaurs that would be drinking the contaminated water, and they would get sick, and they would die. And it's like a constant, continuous cycle, which is, you know, a huge distribution for the food. Good news for the carnivores. For a little while. Eventually, there will be a point where like there's no more herbivores to eat. You know, they've gone off somewhere else, and now there's just, you know, predators.
Part of the
is
healing process is to get some rest, preferably someplace comfortable.
Always works for me. Same for the dinosaurs, I'd imagine.
You imagine correctly.
Not according to my ex.
Yes, moving on then. We want to have the animal transported and then secure and comfortable in its enclosure, if you please.
So yeah, like so then there were once there were no more herbivores to eat, the carnivores have to result in eating different carnivores. Now there were two different types of carnivorous dinosaurs in this formation. There were the Allosauruses, obviously, but there was also the much more smaller Ceratosauruses. Oh, this poor little compy. I feel so sorry for you.
Asset has been transferred.
But yeah, like the Allosaurus is just hunted and killed like these little like Ceratosauruses, and they just ate those dinosaurs, you know. And then eventually, the Ceratosauruses just died off of that area, and there were no more Ceratosauruses to eat, which means that the only source of food available were other Allosauruses, meaning the Allosauruses had no choice but to cannibalize each other. And it's interesting. Okay, the mission's complete, which means the moment I exit out of this Allosaurus, I'm gonna move on to the next campaign. I just want to keep talking about Allosaurus for just a bit more longer, because Allosaurus is cool. And I got cool things to say about this dinosaur. But yeah, like the Allosaurus ate each other, and then eventually there were no more Allosauruses, and then we move on to the yeah. Now we know the sequence of events happened because, you know, simple sedimentation. You know, some dinosaurs were way more deeper than others, and Allosaurus was at the top. It's very common to find Allosaurus because they were the most recent to happen. You know, they were the most common, because, you know, at the last moments of that formation. I love that blood eye effect, by the way. You know, there were no more dinosaurs to eat except for each other. So you would find a lot of Allosaurus remains, and the deeper you go, you find these other dinosaurs, because, you know, they were there before the Allosauruses started killing each other. But yeah, it's a really cool, unique story to tell for dinosaurs. But yeah, so here we go. I think I'm very certain that once I exit out of this Allosaurus, we're gonna move on to the next campaign. But yeah, like, it's very awesome to work with these two theropod dinosaurs. Very unique and different, but awesome in their own ways, you know. Very cool dinosaurs. I'm glad I finally had the chance to talk about these dinosaurs. I wanted to have both these dinosaurs in a park for the longest time, and now we finally got those dinosaurs. And hell yeah, it's so rewarding. But anyways, let's move on. Mission complete, Washington State. Here we go, yeah.
We'd worked to make sure the dinosaurs would thrive in the forest. At first, I believed this was for the best. Then we realized that forest makes up about 1/5 of the total land mass in the US, and almost 40% of Canada's wilderness. Working together with the DFW and the CIA, we made the dinosaurs feel right at home. In the forest. I really hope the powers that be know what they're doing. Because the dinosaurs definitely do.
Alright, Pennsylvania. Alright, we're gonna move on now. That was... Man, it feels weird. The campaign ones are actually really short, but the actual Chaos Fury ones are super long.
The only way to fly, right? Private. Away from the hubbub of the public. No prying eyes asking wordless questions I don't feel much like answering. Now, call me crazy. You wouldn't be the first. But we need to centralize our operations, and that's why I've chosen this location. Well, okay, I didn't choose it myself, but I was part of the process. I mean, I got the memo. The Appalachians have long been a place where people can kind of disappear, whether on their own or with the help of someone else. So, why not the dinosaurs?
And we'll pause it there. Okay. So that was Washington. That was Canada. That was way more short. That was very short. I'm starting to get a feeling that these campaign missions are actually very, very short, which is a little unfortunate. But oh well, what can we do about it? But anyways, yeah. So now, through logic, we can now move on to the Lost World Chaos Theory. But if you guys liked that video, I hope click the like button. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button. And I'm Super Marcel. Make sure you have a super time. Bye bye.